Hello and welcome to this 2021 Google Ads, formerly known as Google AdWords training. In this training, I'm going to show you how to set up a Google Ads account and how to create your first search campaign. So to get started with Google Ads, you have to go to the webpage ads.google.com or search in Google for Google Ads and you're going to get to this website. This website is available in multiple languages, so depending on which country you're based in, you might see this interface in a different language. After you arrive to this page, what you have to do is press the Start Now button. And this is gonna either lead you to create a new account or it's gonna take you into signing up into your existing account if you already have one. I'll presume you don't have a Google Ads account already, so I'm gonna show you how to create one from scratch. To do so, you press the new Google Ads account button. And after this loads, it takes you to this interface. Here I want you to go down here where it says are you a professional marketer and click to switch to expert mode, because this is going to make creating an account much easier actually. And here I want you to click on this link, create an account without a campaign. And after this page has loaded, it's going to ask you to confirm your business information and make sure that your country is correct, your time zone is correct, and your currency is correct, and select if you want to get emails from Google Ads or not. Personally, I don't want to get any, so I'm going to select the no option, and then I'll press submit. And that's it. We've just created our first Google Ads account, and now we can play around with it and create different campaigns and enable different settings. So I'll press the Explore Your Account button, which is going to take me to this interface, which is the default Google Ads interface. And here you see you have a few options. First, you have the Google Ads logo at the top right hand, and whenever you're lost in the interface, you can just click on this logo and it's going to bring you back to this web page all the time. It gives you an overview tab, and currently it is empty, but once you're going to have multiple campaigns set up in your account, you're going to see some data here. You have a list of all your campaigns, but again, since we don't have any campaign, we don't see anything here. And then you also have a top menu that gives you some reporting options and some different tools and settings that you have access to in Google Ads. These might look a bit intimidating at first, but they're very easy to get the hang of once you start using them. So the first thing I want to do in this Google Ads account is to create a new campaign. And to do that, I can press this button here, new campaign, or I can press the plus sign on the left hand side here, the blue plus sign, and select new campaign. Once I do that, it gives me a bunch of options to choose from, and you can start using those type of options if you want, or you can also create a campaign without a goals guidance. For me, let's say I want to create a campaign that is about website traffic that sends traffic to my YouTube account. And here I have multiple options after I selected the goal. Again, the goal is not that important what you select, but here these campaigns are very important what you select. The first option you have is a search campaign. So search campaigns are the ones that appear at the top of search results when someone types for something on Google. For example, if you'd go right now on Google and you search for laptop, for example, you're probably going to see some ads at the top. And these are probably the most common type of campaigns that people create. The other option you have is to create a display campaign. And here it is very easy to do so. And the display campaigns are the ones that show up on other websites. For example, you might go to a news website and you might see some banner ads there. Those are likely Google Ads display campaigns or maybe another competitor campaign. Shopping campaigns are the ones that appear that gives you actual products to buy, so the Google shopping results. These are not available in all countries, so depending on which country you want to create ads for, you might or might not have this option. Video campaigns are the campaigns that appear on YouTube, so those videos that you see before, those ads that you see before playing a video on YouTube, those are video ad campaigns. And then discovery campaign is a new type of or newer type of campaign that works, let's say, similarly to a display campaign where you have both images and text, and they're eligible to run on YouTube, Gmail, and Discover tab. So I'm going to go with search campaign, and it asks me for my website. You don't necessarily have to fill it in. You can just press continue here. And here you see you have it. If this is your first account, it gives you some options to play around with. I'm just going to close them and exit this guide. The first thing I have to fill out in this form is the campaign name. And this is very important. I recommend you to give good names to your campaign so that it's easy to search for them in the future and know what they are. And I'm gonna call this campaign YouTube traffic because I'm sending traffic to my YouTube account. And here under networks, you see I have the search network. So this would be Google search, but by default it also includes the Google display network, and I don't want that, so I'm gonna uncheck this box. If you go to show more settings, you can see it also gives you start and end dates. So if you want, you can create a campaign that only starts in the future. So for example, let's say I want this campaign to only start on the 15th of February. This is how I would change that, and it also gives you an option to select an end date. So for example, maybe you want a campaign that runs just for a few days, maybe you're running a specific promotion on your business. This is how you do that. Obviously, you can also pause and just stop the campaign whenever you want, but you might forget to do that. So if you have a fixed date for something, it's better to just give it an end date. I'm not gonna bother with these options for now. And then it asks me for targeting and audiences. And for me, I would want to target with this campaign all countries. And this is something that generally you probably don't want to do. Probably you, in most cases, you want to focus on one country or two, or maybe even specific cities. For example, let's say I want to enter another location. If I wanted to, I can just target Berlin, for example, in Germany. And that would be it. I would now be only targeting Berlin with this campaign. And under locations, you have some targeting options. One of it is, the default one is presence or interests. And these are people who are interested in or regularly in the target location, or present or search interest. Generally, in most cases, you would want to use the presence option. For example, let's say you have a barbershop, and if someone based in Berlin searches for barbershop Berlin, he or she is going to be eligible to see your campaign with this second option checked. If you have the first option checked and someone from somewhere else is searching for the same query, let's say someone in the UK is searching for barbershop Berlin, then that person will also be eligible to see. And maybe it's not the most effective use of your marketing budget. So this really depends a bit on exactly what your business is. Maybe in case of a barbershop, maybe that person is coming as a tourist or on a business trip to Berlin, and they really need a barbershop when they're there. So maybe you do want to show their ads for them. But in other cases, depending on the specificity of the query, you might not want to do that. And then by default, it gives you a language, and you can also select the language specific to that specific targeting, and you can add any other language from this list here. Or indeed, you can just add all languages. But it's generally better to just focus on the language in which your keywords are, your ads are, and also your landing page is in. You can also add specific audiences if you want to your campaign. We're not gonna do this time. And then you have to put in your budget. And the budget is how much money you want to spend per day. And for example, for this campaign, let's say I'm willing to spend maximum 10 euros per day, and I put that there. And it is important to also read what it says here on the right hand side, that how much you actually spend per day might vary. So some days you might spend 10 euros, some days you might spend 11 or 12, and other days 7 or 8. What Google tries is to average out your daily budget on a monthly basis. So for example, if I put out a budget of 10 euros, Google is going to try to spend around 300 euros per month. And again, that might mean in some days it might spend 12 or 13, and in other days 7 or 8. And then under bidding, this is how you are gonna what you want to focus on in terms of bidding strategy, and how this also impacts what Google's optimizes for. So if I want, in this case, since it's a traffic campaign, I'm just interested in getting as many clicks as possible and sending as much people as I want as possible to my website. So I'm gonna select clicks. But if you run an e-commerce website, or if you're selling something on your website, or you have people signing up for a form on your website, you're generally gonna want to go for conversions. And to do that, you're gonna have to first sign up for conversion tracking and implement that on your website. And I have a video that shows how to do that. But for now, let's just go with clicks. And if you want, you can also set a maximum cost per click. And this limits how much Google is gonna spend for each time someone clicks on your ads. And for me, I'm gonna set a maximum CPC bid limit of €1. And keep in mind, this is the maximum you're willing to pay. This is not how much you actually pay for each click. So some clicks might be 10 cents, some might be 20 cents, some might be 80 cents. And this is determined by how much your competitors are bidding and how good your quality score is. And we're gonna be talking more about quality score in this video, and I have other videos as well that just explain quality score. I'm gonna save and continue for now. And now I'm at the second step where I can set up my ad groups. And to do so, I have to give it a name. I'm fine with ad group 1. And here I have to enter my keywords. And for me, I'm gonna add Google Analytics training. And when you're entering your keywords, it is important to know that there are multiple match types for the keyword. So one, and you see them explain a bit here. And if you press the learn more button, you can learn more about exactly how they work. But in a nutshell, broad match means that Google is broadly matching that keyword. And that sometimes might mean that it's not exactly the keyword you put in. So for example, you might have the keyword socks, and your ad might be even showing for when someone is searching for shoes. So it's a very broad matching of the family of keywords. Another more precise matching method is this one called phrase match. And to do it, you put your keyword between quotation marks. So I would have to put it like this. And in this case, Google is only gonna match. It's only gonna show my ad if someone is searching for something that contains Google Analytics training. So this would mean that also if someone searches for free Google Analytics training, my ad would show up. If someone searches for best Google Analytics training, my ad is gonna show up, and so on. And the other one is exact match, which you put between square brackets. And if I would do this, then this ad would show only if someone searches exactly for Google Analytics training and nothing else. So if someone would search for free Google Analytics training, this campaign would not be eligible to show. And there's one more match type, which is the broad match. But Google has announced under blog that they're going to be eliminating this. And this required you to put pluses in front of your words. So like this. And when you used broad match modifier, then it meant that Google would be very liberal in terms of how it showed your ad, but it had to include those free words. So if someone searched for free Google training, for example, this ad would not show. But if someone would show for free training for Google Analytics, the ad would show. So you see, even the ordering of the words would not have mattered. And Google said they're going to change a bit the way that this phrase match works, so that it also takes these variations. And there's one more match type that we can talk about. That is negative keywords. So negative keywords are keywords that you don't want your ad to show for. So if I don't want my ad to show for when someone types in the word free, I would have to put in the minus sign and put free, and then that would stop my ad from showing. Of course, we don't need the keywords in all the match types, so depending on if we want to be more narrow or more broad, we choose the exact match type. But for me, I'm just gonna go with the broad match modifier and have the word free as a negative. I'm gonna save and continue. And now I have to create my ad. So you'd have a final URL, and this is exactly the page you want to send people to. So for example, I would want to send people to youtube.com/youtube.com, let's say, and this would be the home page of YouTube. And as you can see, Google recommends to use HTTPS whenever possible. So I know that YouTube definitely has HTTPS, so I can do that. But on your site, make sure to check your URL that it has HTTPS. Then you have to create up to 3 headlines and a description. So the headlines can be up to 30 characters each. And for my first headline, I would write get free Google Analytics training. And as you can see, this is too long. It's 36 characters, and I'm allowed to only have 30 characters. So I'm gonna play around with it a bit, and I'm gonna go with free Google Analytics training, which is actually perfect, 30 characters. And then my second headline, join over 3,000 other students. Again, a bit too long. I'm gonna eliminate it short. Get started now for free, and that would be my first headlines. Keep in mind that there are a lot of policies around creating ads, and I encourage you to read them on the Google website. So for example, you cannot have like multiple exclamation points in a line. There are words that you cannot use. You cannot use all caps or all capitals letters in your ads. Then you have to fill out the display path. So this could be something that, you know, entices your clients to want to click more. So this does not have to be like a real URL on your website. So I'm gonna go youtube.com/training/Google. I'm gonna actually put it with hyphen. Oops. No, too long. So /Google Analytics. And then the description. Don't miss out on this free Google Analytics training. Watch for free on YouTube. Learn how to master account setup and reporting and analysis. Save and continue. All you have to do now to get this campaign running is go under tools and settings, and under billing you have settings, and under settings you're going to be able to put your credit card details, and you can get your campaign up and running. I hope you found this helpful. Thanks for watching.